Jeffrey wants to start new habits. He wants to break his old habits up, but he just can't seem. He always seems to keep falling back onto his old habits. He stopped for a day or two, 3 days, 4 days at most, but he always falls back to his old habits, his old ways. He's trying to stop, but he just can't seem to stop them bad habits. You got Adonis on the other hand. Adonis knows what it takes to have a good habits. He knows that he has to get systems in place in order to have good habits. Therefore, that's why he doesn't have a hard time to go to the gym anymore, because it became a habit of him, because he put systems in place to have good habits like that. We should all strive to be more like Adonis, right? And me myself, I also struggled to have good habits in place until I started reading this book, Atomic Habits. Is a really good book on it's probably one of the best books I've read on habits, on how to create and break bad habits, right? But we're gonna go over how to break a bad habit, right? So what makes a habit? There's four laws to a habit, a good or a bad habit. In order to create habits, you have to have systems in place, right? A system is what creates habits. For example, you wake up every morning. That's the system you got in place. You wake up every morning. What do you do after you get your phone? That already becomes a habit because you implement it into your system. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you do all this other stuff that is implemented in the system. Those little habits are implemented in the system. So you got to focus on having a good system in order to have good habits, right? So there's four laws that have to do with habits. Law number one, which is the cue. Law number two is the craving. Three is the response, and fourth is the reward. Right? We're gonna go in order. So, law number one is the cue. That's the what notifies you, or what is out there. It's kind of like right there. It's kind of like you're seeing it. You're seeing it. That's what kind of triggers the habit. Right? For example, your phone. Just say you're addicted to social media or being on your phone or whatever. Right? You can't seem to stay out of it. So your phone vibrates. It gives you a little notification. That's the cue. It's already telling you hey, it's kind of notifying you. That's what triggers the response. That's what kind of triggers the habit. Which will go to law number two, the craving. So that's the desire of you picking up your phone because it notified you, which is the cue. Law number one. Second law is the craving, the desire to pick it up. So as the farther you get to the laws, towards the laws, the harder it is to break that habit. So therefore, you gotta stop it before it even gets to law one, right? We'll go. I'll go over that later. Which is the law number two, the desire of you picking it up. So once you pick it up, go to law number three, the response. Right? You grab it and you start browsing. You start browsing. That little notification, you start browsing. Which we go to law number four, the reward. You start getting that dopamine hits of the little TikToks you've seen. The little whatever post on Instagram you've seen. You starting to get the dopamine hits. Those are the rewards. So that is what makes it. Those four laws is what makes a habit. And in order for you to break a habit, you gotta take one of those laws out, at least one of those laws out. Right? It's favorable if you take all of them out. If you don't even get to law one, which is the cue, notification. For example, we're gonna the first law. You gotta make it invisible. Right? If it triggers a notification, try to make it invisible. Take notifications out. Delete the app. Put the phone somewhere else. Put it in another room. If you have to do work, some serious work, get it out of your sight. Out of sight, out of mind. Right? Make it invisible. Go to the second law, the craving, the desire. Make it unattractive. Make that desire unattractive. Make it not appeal to you. Right? Think of it as make it disgusting to do that. Make it Put yourself, change your view of yourself. Think yourself, I'm a different man. I'm a strong man. I don't do that. I'm not a Jeffrey. I'm an Adonis. Change your perspective on that. Oh, weak men do that. I'm not a weak man. I'm not a weak. I'm a strong individual. Make it unattractive as make it as unattractive as possible for you not to fall back into that habit. For example, if I think it's bad to be social media, I change my perspective on it. I don't want to do that. I want to be a strong individual. I want to work on myself. I detest that. Therefore, I'm not gonna go back into the habit. Right? Make it difficult. We'll go to the rule number 3, law number 3. The response. If you actually want to respond to get it, make it difficult for you to even go for it. For example, if you wanna play the guitar or whatever, or you want to stop from watching TV, you want to break that bad habit. Make it hide your remote. Get rid of your remote. Put it somewhere. Put it on the top shelf where you would have to actually get a chair, climb up there. You have to go through all these different steps for you to actually get there. Right? Try to make it difficult. Put a book. If you want to start a good habit, put a book next to your nightstand instead of your phone. Where you're getting ready to sleep, read a book instead of scrolling through social media. Put your phone somewhere else. To break that bad habit. You gotta make it difficult for that law, right? Now we're going to law number 4. Make it unsatisfying. Don't reward yourself with it. Don't let them dopamine hits get to you. Right? So just start from the beginning. If you were to not even get to the first law, everything should go fine, right? Like if you want to quit your bad foods, don't buy sugars. Don't buy fill your refrigerator with none but healthy food. Get rid of it. Don't make that queue there to get you. You wanna stop watching porn. Get rid of your phone. Put ad blockers. There's a form of putting the parental guidance or whatever where you can't search certain stuff up. Put a code and give it to somebody else. Make sure they don't give it to you. Right? It goes with everything. Any type of habit. These 4 laws apply to it. Just be disciplined. If you really want to change, it's up to you, right? You want to break a bad habit. You're an alcoholic. Get yourself out of that. Get yourself out of that environment. Hey, don't buy beer. Don't have beer at home. Not even one. Don't have beer in the fridge, for you to make it easy for you to drink, right? Make it difficult for you. Make yourself. If you really want a beer, you have to go get in your car, drive all the way to your nearest store to buy a beer. Where if you were thirsty, you would have water or something else in your fridge, right? That will calm your thirst. Same thing with smoking or whatever, right? Make it difficult for you to even get there. Get yourself out of that bad environment. Sometimes environment has to do a lot with your habits. If you surround yourself with a whole bunch of alcoholics, you're gonna be the next one. Get yourself out of that environment. If you surround yourself with a whole bunch of people that be smoking pot, you're gonna be the next one. Get yourself out of that environment. That's the cue. The environment is the cue. It's what triggers your response for you to crave it. Get rid of that. Work on yourself, guys. And remember, stay on the grind.